What is up, guys? It's Verns back again with another Supercoach video. This time it's the NBA Round 1 review. Look, man, what a first week of NBA. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Not a big NBA watcher previously, so it was nice to get into it and watch some of these games. Look, obviously didn't get to watch all of them because there's just so many games happening at once, and it's just absolutely wild. But yeah, look, it was really enjoyable what I saw. A few unfortunate things happened. I think the biggest thing of the week that everyone would notice is just Victor Wembanyama. Oh my goodness. The dude's a must-have. That was insane from what we saw from him, and I'm a little upset that when I first opened NBA, the very first thing I did in this app was I added that man to my team. Unfortunately, once you do the preseason research and you start looking into the fixture a bit more and you realize, you know what? There's guys with better fixtures that I think I'll prefer instead. And after one round of watching him, even just the one game, the first game against Dallas, he was like, yep, nah, this guy is a must-have. He is insane. Absolutely nutty. So, yeah, that's the obvious move for my team this week, and I think basically every team that you will see in the week if you do not own him. I think it was a big difference maker for those players that did have Victor and those that didn't. But yeah, not a bad week to start. So week 1, we scored 830 points, ranked 4,000, so not terrible. I think I'm pretty happy with the team overall, and I think a few moves do make it a lot better. So we'll jump into that, have a look. Shout out to Boz, who had Austin Reeves, who obviously went massive with, unfortunately, Doncic going out for the third game. So that was a little unfortunate. So when we did originally look at these teams, oh my goodness, let's quickly reverse anything that I did. I haven't done anything. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure I hadn't done anything there. But yeah, Doncic obviously comes out with the 107 in 2 games, which is really unfortunate in the sense that, obviously this man is bananas, way underpriced, especially with LeBron out, and then hurts his finger and he's going to be out for a week, so I believe between 5 to 10 games. So he's basically a must trade, but at least it's a clear path to Wembanyama. Super unfortunate for us owners. I was going to say, basically at the start of this video, if you didn't own Doncic, out of, Giannis or Wemby, you had to at least have 2 of those 3, I'd say, to be competitive, and if you had 3 of them, then you went nuts. Obviously, Doncic doesn't play game 3, so it really just becomes you need Giannis and Wemby, and yeah, if anyone that didn't have both of those, you definitely started behind the pack. I also do think that there was just so many actually really good performing rookies, and something that we did miss. As you can sort of see with my team, Nimhard gets injured with the shoulder early, misses out on the rest of the games, so that's super unfortunate. Good thing is we have the flex position, so his score does drop out, but it does mean that we don't get another poor score dropping out. Jay Williams, honestly, I thought this guy was very underwhelming and not impressed with him at all. And then Wells also had a -2 game. I don't know if he got injured in that game, what happened. I'm pretty sure I looked and he played 25 minutes, and I guess this is the bounce back of, more opportunity in this game mode may not always be reflected in better scoring, because I did look and I saw he played 25 minutes and he was 1 from 9 from the field, and just, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of negative points you can get out there, so unfortunately just got me some minuses. I guess you guys can probably see in my team the big difference is I did end up with Siakam? Yeah, Siakam, I think his name is. I think that's how you say it. Siakam, who did not bad, wasn't unhappy with this. I think in hindsight, though, looking at it, I was really struggling to sort of fill out this team to finish, and Siakam did well, and I'm happy with what he did. I moved him in instead of Randall, which I don't really know if that's much of a difference, but hindsight would have been having someone who had a 4-game week this week rather than a 3-game week. Kind of put myself in a disadvantage, disadvantageous position. I don't know if that's a word. We tried our best. Because now he only has a 3-game week this week, and you could have someone like a Holmgren who is really, really good, and then he has 2 4-game weeks. So that's just a little silly on my behalf that I did do that. I'll be honest, when I did pick him up, people were telling me he was going to be really good, and I think there's an injury in Indiana, which means he should take more of the workload. So definitely performed above his price tag. So we're very happy with that. But I always kind of planned on moving him in round 2. That was sort of my plan. But then, obviously, with injuries to Doncic and Nemhard, it just means I do have to hold on to him. And yeah, it's really silly by me in that sense that I really should have planned it with someone that had a better fixture in case a situation like this unfolded. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but it's just, a little bit silly by me, so a little bit disappointed there. And yeah, just rookies wise, I think I missed a few. Unfortunately, Kirk Brenner, we talked about in the pod with Boz, but we decided to go Landale, who we thought was a bit safer, because Kirk Brenner, we talked about a 3-man rotation at the center position, but it does look like he did get really good minutes, Kirk Brenner, and obviously a really good score as well for absolute baseline rookie price, so that was a little bit disappointing there. Ace Bailey, someone we talked about not starting, but I'll be honest, I was struggling with rookies that I didn't really know the rookies, and I just didn't know who to put in this position, so Ace Bailey ended up there, and yeah, just super poor. Huge advantage to someone like Boz who didn't start him. I'm going to have to basically trade him like this, which is just very disappointing. But if we do just jump to players quickly, we can obviously see the top scorers here. Wemby goes bananas, insane. Austin Reeves with Luka and LeBron out, he kind of becomes pretty premium at that point. I mean, I don't know if he's going to score 53 points every game, but his original starting price had him averaged at... Sorry, let's quickly check out last season's stats. He was averaged again. He's priced at 22.5. Even if this man goes 30 points a game, which he was already doing with Luka in the team, he's undervalued. So sorry, underpriced. He's going to be a good guy to get on. And this is one of those things where, unfortunately, I feel like I have to get a lot of rookies in right now because I just got the rookies really wrong, and I can't really pivot to Austin, Reeves, who's obviously got a 4-game week this week, so a really good week to get on him. Curry, poor first game, went nuts after that. LaMelo, we know he's going to be a yo-yo, so I'm not surprised there. But yeah, then you get down to like a Holmgren, who just probably a better option. But yeah, Siakam not bad, 14th highest scorer of the round. Really, in reality, it was much better than many other options, and I really shouldn't be upset. But yeah, I think when we do click on the break-even games, we really see that that's where I'm lacking. Like, look at all these top-tier break-even players. Like, I only have one in the top 10, one in the top 15, one in the top 20. It's nuts how badly I missed on these rookies, which really hurts. Oh, sorry, 2. I have Edgecombe and Flag. Harper, did really well. I think when I do look at these rookies, I didn't see Cowan at all. Obviously, he's gotten a great score here, and I do have to question mark what was the reason for that happening. Maybe something I'll listen into tonight. I know Boz and DR are jumping on for the potty, not something I'm available for. I'll be honest, I only really have a very limited time right now to try and get this out, and then I'll be gone for the afternoon. Kirk Brenner up there, unfortunately didn't get on that. Trey Johnson, don't really know. And then Harper, obviously, I think the number 2 pick, a bit more of an obvious one that we missed. AJ Mitchell, I was really impressed with. I think we obviously have to worry about the return of J-Dub, though. When he returns, that will probably affect Mitchell overall. I did see all of the OKC games, so he's probably a rookie I feel very confident in because I saw him every single game, and I was very impressed with him. But yeah, J-Dub comes back, will definitely affect him. The question is, when does he come back? And unfortunately, we just don't really have the news for it. It looks like it's really just a touch-and-go thing where they're sort of week to week, day to day, that they're testing him out. And look, does that mean he returns in 3 rounds' time and I can get AJ Mitchell on, have 2 good 4-game weeks of him on field and feel confident? Maybe. Or maybe he returns in 2 games' time and trading him in ends up backfiring horribly. So that's a really unfortunate thing there that I really got to weigh up with Mitchell. But yeah, a lot of rookies that I missed. I think the big difference is if you ended up on the right rookies, and obviously I mentioned, if you ended up with Wemby, huge advantage there. If you ended up with one of these guys like a Reeves, a LaMelo, a Curry, great, huge advantage there for the price you paid. And then finally just nailing these rookies. I think that's the biggest difference. I know between where I am now, my rank with 830 points, I think the highest rank I saw was 48th with 963 or so points, 130 points ahead. I mean, you can basically make up a lot of that from the rookies. If you don't have Nemth Harding, you have a Harper, 54 points, you get an extra 52. You don't have maybe a Wells or a Williams, and you have someone like a Kirk Brenner who got a 50. There's another 40 to 30 points there. That's basically 90 points made up right then and there, let alone having like a premium like White who just really underperformed. So look, positives here is that I think we have a lot of the teams set up in the sense that 4-game weeks for the main premium guards, 4-game week for Butler. Unfortunately, a 3-game week for Antetokounmpo and Siakam, and getting Wemby in will be a 3-game week as well. But I think it's just a play you've got to make because Wemby looks like he's underpriced significantly. He's priced around the 35-point mark, a little bit less in fact, so closer to 34, 33. But if he's going to be doing what he did in these games where he looks like he's going to be 40 points plus, 45 points plus. He could be $5 million underpriced as a premium. And, you know, we do have to take into account how much do we think these rookies need to make to be, like, considered successful. We know in AFL that, like, they make 150K, that's a successful rookie. Awesome. Make more than that, they're God tier. What is successful in this? And I'm not too sure, but I feel like if a rookie made 5 mil, I think I'd be over the moon for that. I think that'd be more than successful. So if you have someone like WEMBY who's probably $5 million underpriced as a premium, I think you just have to get on him purely off the fact that if you don't, when he does finally get a good schedule and you need to trade him in, all of a sudden you've got to fork out an extra $5 million. What was the point of holding on to a rookie that made $5 million just so you get WEMBY who's gone up $5 million? That just doesn't make sense. Just bring WEMBY in now, get that extra money he makes. So yeah, he is so good. So that's going to be what we're doing for our trade. So let's jump into our trades. First round, I'm planning on using a boost. So we do have unlimited trades, guys, so you can use all 3 every single round, and you have obviously the limited resource of 5 boosts. Now, I do feel like using 1 in round 1's important in the sense that a lot of rookies haven't had quite, they've had a price adjustment, but it's not I don't think it's substantial, so you can still make a pivot to the good rookies. And on top of that, a lot of players played only 2 games. So since they only played 2 games, it means you can pivot to them before they've had a price adjustment. Which will also be an unfortunate thing with Luca here, is like he's going to have quite a low break even. You'll want to get on him before he starts rising in price. But if he comes back after, 1 round, say we have the 4-game week, he doesn't play that, then he has the 3-game week, but he plays game 2, then you're going to unfortunately miss out on that price rise sort of thing. I don't think it's worth holding on to him, because if he misses the next 2 rounds, because he misses the next 9 games, and then 2 games into the round after that, it's just not worth it. And we saw the prices increases weren't wild. Like, I was expecting a lot more. I thought WEMBY was going to go up like 3 mil, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much money. It's going to be so hard. And then he went up less than $1 mil as well as he did. So, price crazy jumps aren't too crazy, so you can actually, you can probably wait, and it'll be fine to get Dontage in when he actually gets back and he's playing properly. So let's get these trades in. Obviously, Nemhard out because injured, Dontage out because injured. Good news is we have Edgecombe, who is jumping on the field for me. He's got a 4-game week, and man, he was so good as a rookie, starting for the team, and they got some wins, so we love seeing that. Ace Bailey, straight out, don't want him. Let's get Adetokumbo down, means we can get WEMBY in. Wells, pretty expensive for a guy that didn't quite perform, so I think I'll be going Wells out too. And then we've got we're just going to be filtering for these break-even guys. We want to get in these guys with these low break-evens. As I said, I didn't see what Cowan did, so I've got to question. With a break-even that good, I think you just jump on him anyway. It's just lock it on in. I saw AJ Mitchell, so it's like Harper or AJ Mitchell. I know Mitchell did well because J-Dub's out, but once he returns, does that mean Harper's maybe a better rookie from there? Maybe, but AJ Mitchell does have a 4-game week, and I kind of think I'm going to be playing him on field. So that'll put my guard position, all of these guys having a 4-game week, which is, something we definitely want. And then we just need to get the last one in, who, with break-evens, I can flex you up, can't I? Okay, that didn't let me change your position. Let's just move you out for half a second. Can I put you here? Nope. Okay. Well, there's a few guys I was considering. First of all, we have obviously Kirk Brenner, who, as we already mentioned, great break even. Looks like he actually had more of a role than we expected for Charlotte, so could be a very good option for us, only at 4 mil. But they are rookies, and I do expect rookies to have yo-yo games where sometimes they just show up and they have an awful round. Now, the other guy I'm actually considering here, and it might be a little bit of favoritism because I actually just love him as a player. My goodness, I'm scrolling too far. You know what? I should just type his name in. It's going to be Steven Adams. He's at 6 mil. We know how good Steven Adams actually is as a baller. He is really good. Got a 20-point average here off his first 2 games, which for his price is insane. He's only priced at 6 mil because of his injury. So in reality, it's like this guy's pretty crazy underpriced. His game 1 was a little bit slow, but his game 2 was really good. And I just feel like more comfortable because I'm going to have to run Kirkbrenner or Adams on field. So I feel more comfortable having Adams down here on field than Kirkbrenner. So that's what I'm going to go with. Adams just to feel comfortable. And then where were we with... I need Edgecombe to go up. and then we can get Cowan in. So I think this is how the team will look going into tomorrow. I know, quick turnaround with NBA, guys. You need to be on top of it ASAP. We'll get Mitchell down and we'll get him on field. So we got these 4 guards all on a 4-game week. Hopefully White can do a bit better than what we saw. Captain-wise, I will flip it on the Shea because Shea 4-game week, so why wouldn't I? VST's irrelevant, so it doesn't matter. Butler 4-game week, so yeah, plenty of 4-game weeks for my premiums, and then it's just Wemby, Giannis, and Siakam on the 3-game week, and that's, as I said, a little bit disappointing with the point that I have Siakam. If you just had to play with a bit of a better schedule, then you feel better. Saying that, technically, if I went someone like, instead of Holmgren, you had the other power forward center from like OKC, like say example you went him, I think he scored like a 66, or even say you want a player that has a 4-game week this week, but they scored something like 60 points, like you wouldn't be too happy with that. And even going into a 4-game week, I don't know if they're going to beat Siakam, or even if they break even with Siakam, you'd prefer Siakam. So Siakam might be a perfectly viable pick. He's definitely, I think, a bit of a pod for me, so I'll take that. But yeah, I look at this team and I feel pretty comfortable with all this. Like, I think the only one I'm a little bit sketchy on is White. I would love to be in a position where maybe I got a couple more of these right, so maybe I could have flipped a White to a Reeves or something, saying that he does have 2 4-game weeks. So yeah, look, we'll lock it in. As I said, happy with that team, feel comfortable with everyone on field. I don't think I'm going to get a poor score from anyone, and the bottom score will drop out. This will really help me make up some points that I desperately need after round 1. Yeah, but that'll be it from you guys. Short, sharp, nice and quick. Best of luck. I hope you all had a good game 1. Don't forget to always like and subscribe and tune in. I know for your consistent injections of Supercoach content directly into your YouTube feed. Sorry guys, forgot what I said there for a second. But till next time guys, peace, later.